I first read about cat-only veterinary hospitals in about 1998, and that was a real light bulb moment for me. I realised immediately that it made perfect sense for cats to have their own veterinary hospital. I'd always enjoyed working with them an awful lot as a species, but I had never even considered having a hospital on its own for cats. But as soon as I read about it, it made great sense. So I was biding my time, waiting for my opportunity to open one. I had a mixed practice in Dublin of dogs and cats and guinea pigs and everything. When I moved down to Cork then, because it's a relatively large city, it was a perfect opportunity to open a cat-only veterinary hospital. Because we're in Glanmire, it's really convenient for the city. Cork is not a huge city, but the outlying county of Cork has, I think, 450,000 people living in the county. So there's a saying, lots of chimneys, lots of cats. So anywhere that's urbanised, you have a lot of cats living there. So Cork was just about the right size to be able to support a cat hospital all on its own. I had the building. Again, I did my research. I'm very lucky that I have a sister who's an architect. So she designed the cat hospital for me. My main worry when I was opening was that people wouldn't get it. And that hasn't been our experience at all. Anyone who owns a cat knows why you would need a cat hospital. It's very obvious to them.
When I brought Tonic here in May, he could hardly walk. He was less than half the size he is now. He had virtually lost the use of his back legs. The reason I coming here in specific is it's such a lovely, quiet environment for a cat. There's no dogs barking, no parakeets tearing each other apart. You know, it's just lovely and peaceful here. I've used it for all my cats now because I've been to various practices, and there's nothing worse than going and sitting down with your cat in a cage and a big Rottweiler sitting the other side of you and a terrier yapping away, you know. And, you know, the cat is very stressed in those environments, you know, whereas here he comes in, he hops up in the scales there, weighs himself, and we're away, you know.
Try and reduce the stress for cats, we have designed it really for them. The kind of things that you would do, for example, is that you would never have a cat facing another animal or facing another cat, because that's very stressful for them. They like to go up high, so we have as many places for them to perch as we can. We only have 2 seats in the waiting room. The idea is that you literally wouldn't sit there for more than 5 minutes, and we plan our days in as much as we can to try and avoid any waiting for the cats. The owners appreciate it, but it's not for them, it's for the cats, okay? So then they come in to the consult room, which is a very big room. And what we like to try and do is open the basket, but we don't take the cat out. Cats are naturally very curious, so if you wait for a couple of minutes, most cats will start to venture out of the basket themselves. And for them, that's much nicer than being grabbed and dragged screaming out of their cage. So we try and do that, and for most of them, again, they will start to come out and start to sniff around the place. And by the time we get to examine them, 90% of them have jumped up on the windowsill and are watching the traffic going up and down. So that's lovely for me. Again, I would have had the opposite experience when I worked in a mixed companion practice, where you have 10-15 minute consultations and you're trying to do things as quickly and efficiently as possible, but it does involve frequently dragging the cats or turning it upside down to try and get the cat out. So from the cat's perspective, that's immediately increasing their stress levels. We also have plug-in diffusers which release a hormone or pheromone into the air that helps to keep the cat relaxed and gives them a sense of familiarity to the place. So even though they don't understand why they feel it's familiar, something inside them tells them that it is. We try to use a problem-solving approach to medical problems. You make a diagnosis as to what's wrong with the animal. You don't guess what's wrong and hope that your treatment will work. We would run a lot of tests. We would do a lot of x-rays and scans. We have recently got an endoscope, which is a little camera that you can put down into their digestive system or into their airways so that you can help to diagnose disease. It can be frustrating for owners because frequently they're used to diagnosis being made very quickly with a thermometer and a stethoscope. One of the great things about having a cat hospital is that we spend a lot of time observing them. Observation is really valuable because cats have quite solitary lives, and often the owners don't know, for example, whether the cat has diarrhea or whether the cat is vomiting or if the cat has peed for the last week. They just don't know because they're not with the cat all the time. So it's very useful for us to admit the cat for a day or two, watch them, see if they're doing everything normally in the way they should be. So we admit a lot of cats into the cat hospital just for observation, not necessarily to treat them, just to see what's going on because the owners simply don't know. We've been open for a year now, a year and a bit, and we're very happy with the way it's going. I suppose the cat hospital really is a little cottage industry. It's a one-man show, one-woman show. But I really do feel that a cat hospital would be terrific in other cities in Ireland. However, for a vet to open more practices really means that you're getting into the business side of things, and my first love and passion is working with the animals and meeting their owners. So that would be a big decision to make, to open another practice. So you'd have to split your loyalties between the two. So for the moment I'm really enjoying working in the cat hospital here in Cork and learning more and more about cats. You know, that's really what I suppose I see myself doing long term.